Namo fundamental teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo fundamental teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo fundamental teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha. The unsurpassed, profound and wonderful Dharma is difficulty encountered in hundreds of millions of eons. I now see it, hear it, receive and uphold it, and I vow to fathom the Tathagata's true meaning. Part 3 of Sutra of the Past Vows of Birth of Bodhisattva. Chapter 9, the names of Buddhas. At that time, as the Bodhisattva Mahasattva said to the Buddha, well-honored one, I will now describe some wholesome practices that will enable beings of the future to gain great benefit throughout their lives and death. Well-honored one, please hear my words.
The Buddha told Earth-Store Bodhisattva, now you wish to compassionately rescue all those in the six paths who are suffering for their offenses by discussing some inconceivable events. This is the right time. Speak now, since my nirvana is near. You can then complete your vows soon, and I need not be worried about beings of the present or future.
As the Bodhisattva said to the Buddha, well-honored one, countless century eons ago, a Buddha named Boundless Bodhisattva appeared in the world. If men or women hear this Buddha's name and have a momentary thought of respect, those people will overstep the heavy offenses involved in birth and death for 40 years. How much more will that be the case for those who scout or paint this Buddha's image or praise and make offerings to him? The blessing they reap will be limitless and unbounded.
Furthermore, in the past, as many eons ago as there are grains of sand in the Ganges River, a Buddha named Jewel Nature thus come one appeared in the world. If men or women hear this Buddha's name and instantly decide to take refuge, those people will never retreat from the unsurpassed path.
Furthermore, in the past, a Buddha named Brahma Supreme one appeared in the world. If men or women hear this Buddha's name as the sound of which passes by their ears, those people will be reborn 1,000 times in the 6 desired heavens. How much more will that be the case if those people sincerely recite the name of that thus come one?
Furthermore, in the past, ineffable Samkhya eons ago, a Buddha named Lion Roar thus come one appeared in the world. If men or women hear this Buddha's name and in a single thought take refuge, those people will encounter numberless Buddhas who will rub the crowns of their head and bestow predictions of enlightenment upon them. Furthermore, in the past, a Buddha named Krakochanda appeared in the world. If men or women hear this Buddha's name and sincerely behold, worship, or praise him, those people will become great Brahma heaven kings in the assemblies of the 1,000 Buddhas of the worthy eon, and will there receive superior predictions.
Furthermore, in the past, a Buddha named Rinpoche appeared in the world. If men or women hear this Buddha's name, those people will eternally avoid falling into the evil path, will always be born among people or gods, and will abide in supreme and wonderful bliss. Furthermore, in the past, as many years ago as there are grains of sand in limitless and countless Ganges rivers, a Buddha named True Victory thus come one appeared in the world. And men or women hear this Buddha's name, those people will never fall into the evil path and will always abide in the heavens, experiencing supremely wonderful bliss. Furthermore, in the past, a Buddha named True Appearance thus come one appeared in the world. And men or women hear thought or respect, those people will soon attain the fruitions of arhatship.
Furthermore, limitless Samkhya eons ago, a Buddha named Kashaya Banner thus come one appeared in the world. If men or women hear this Buddha's name, those people will overcome the offenses of birth and death for 100 great eons. Furthermore, in the past, a Buddha named Great Penetration Mountain King thus come one appeared in the world. If men or women hear this Buddha's name, those people will encounter as many Buddhas as there are grains of sand in the Ganges. Those Buddhas will speak Dharma extensively for them, and they will certainly realize Bodhi.
Furthermore, in the past, there were Buddhas named Pure Moon Buddha, Mountain King Buddha, Wisdom Victory Buddha, Pure Name King Buddha, Accomplished Wisdom Buddha, Unsurpassed Buddha, Wonderful Sun Buddha, Full Moon Buddha, Moon Face Buddha, and an ineffable number of other Buddhas, well-honored one, beings of the present and future, both gods and humans, both male and female, can amass such limitless merit and virtue by reciting only one Buddha's name. How much more merit will they amass by reciting many names? Those beings will personally obtain great benefits in their lives and death, and will never fall into the evil path. When a person is on the brink of death, if even one family member should recite the Buddha's name aloud just once for the ailing person, the karmic retributions of that person who is about to die will be dissolved, except for relentless retribution resulting from the 5 offenses. The 5 offenses warranting relentless retribution are so extremely heavy that those who commit them should not escape retribution for millions of eons. If, however, when the offender is about to die, someone recites the names of Buddhas on his or her behalf, then those offenses can gradually be dissolved. How much more will that be the case for beings who recite those names themselves? The merit they create will be limitless and will eradicate measureless offenses.
Chapter 10, the conditions and comparative merit and virtue of giving. At that time, Earth's Door Bodhisattva Mahasattva, inspired by the Buddha's awesome spiritual strength, rose from his seat, knelt, placed his palms together, and said to the Buddha, "World-honored one, I have observed beings within the paths of karma and compared their acts of giving. Some do a little and some do a lot. Some receive blessings for 1 life, some for 10 lives, and some receive great blessings and benefit for hundreds of thousands of lives. Why is that? Please, world-honored one, explain that for us."
At that time, the Buddha told us the Bodhisattva, "Here in this assembly in the palace of celestial heaven, I will now discuss the comparative merit and virtue derived from acts of giving done by the beings in Jambudvipa. Listen attentively to what I say." Erstwhile said to the Buddha, "I have wondered about this matter and will be pleased to listen." The Buddha told us the Bodhisattva, in Jambudvipa, leaders of nations, prime minister, high officials, great elders, great kshatriyas, great Brahmins, and others may encounter those who are poor and disadvantaged, hunchbacked, physical challenged, impaired in speech, mute, deaf, retarded, blind, or disabled in other ways. Those national leaders and others may give to those unfortunate ones with great compassion, a humble heart and a smile. They may give generously with their own hands or arrange for others to do so, comforting the recipients with gentle words. The blessings and benefits that such leaders and good people will accrue will be comparable to the meritorious virtue derived from giving to as many Buddhas as there are grains of sand in 100 Ganges rivers. Why is that? Those leaders and good people will receive such rewards or blessings and benefits for having shown a greatly compassionate heart toward the most impoverished, underprivileged, and physically challenged individuals. Throughout hundreds of thousands of lives to come, they will always have an abundance of the 7 precious things, not to mention clothing, food, and the necessities of life.
Moreover, Earth Store in the future, the leaders of nations, Brahmins, and others may encounter Buddhist stupas or monasteries, or images of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, hearers, or Pratyeka Buddhas, and personally initiate and oversee the giving of offerings to them. If they do that, each of those leaders and good people will serve as Lord Chakra for a duration of 3 eons, enjoying supremely wonderful bliss. If they are able to dedicate the blessings and benefits of that giving to the Dharma realm, then those leaders of nations and good people will reign as great Brahma heaven kings for 10 eons.
Moreover, in the future, leaders of nations, Brahmins, and others may, upon encountering ancient Buddhist stupas and monasteries or sutras and images that are damaged, decaying or broken, resolve to resolve them. Those leaders and good people may then oversee that task themselves, or encourage others to do so, gathering as many as hundreds of thousands of people to contribute and thereby establish affinities. Those leaders and good people will become wheel-turning kings for hundreds of thousands of successive lives, and those who make offerings with them will later be leaders of small nations for as many lives. If they resolve to dedicate that merit before the stupas or monasteries, then based on that limitless and abundant, unbounded reward, those leaders, good people, and their helpers will eventually all come crystal clear to Buddhahood. Moreover, in the future, leaders of nations, Brahmins, and others may give rise to just one compassionate thought upon seeing the old, the sick, or women in childbirth, and provide them with medicine, food, drink, and bedding, so as to make them peaceful and comfortable. The blessings and benefits derived from doing that are quite inconceivable. For 1,000 eons they will always be lords of the pure dwelling heavens. For 200 eons they will be lords in the 6 desired heavens, and they will ultimately attain Buddhahood. They will never fall into the evil path, and for hundreds of thousands of lives they will hear no sounds of suffering.
Moreover, Earth Store, if in the future leaders of nations, Brahmins, and others can give in that way, they will receive limitless blessings. If in addition they are able to dedicate that merit, be it great or small, they will ultimately attain Buddhahood. How much more easily will they be able to attain the rewards of becoming Chakra, Brahma, or a wheel-turning king? Therefore, Earth Store, you should urge beings everywhere to learn to give in those ways.
Moreover, Earth Store, in the future, if good men or good women only manage to plant a few good words within the Buddha Dharma, equivalent to no more than a strand of hair, a grain of sand, or a mote of dust, they will receive incomparable blessings and benefits. Moreover, Earth Store, in the future, good men or women, upon encountering images of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Pratyeka Buddhas, or wheel-turning kings, may make offering to them. Such persons will obtain limitless blessings and will always enjoy supremely wonderful bliss in the human and heavenly realms. If they can dedicate their merit to the Dharma realm, the blessings and benefits will be beyond compare.
Moreover, Earth Store, in the future, good men or good women, upon encountering great vehicle sutras, or upon hearing but a single gatha or sentence of them, may be inspired to praise, venerate, and make offerings to them. Those people will obtain great, limitless, and unbounded rewards. If they can dedicate that merit to the Dharma realm, their blessings will be beyond compare.
Moreover, Earth Store, in the future, good men or good women may, upon encountering new Buddhist stupas, temples, or sutras of the great vehicle, make offerings to them, gaze at them in worship, and respectfully make praises with joint palms. Upon encountering old stupas, temples, or sutras, or those that have been destroyed or damaged. They may either do the repairing or rebuilding themselves or encourage others to help them. Those who help will become leaders of small nations for 30 successive lives. The donors themselves will always be wheel-turning kings who will use the good Dharma to teach and transform those leaders of small nations.
Moreover, earth store in the future, good men or good women may plant good roots in the Buddha Dharma by giving, making offerings, repairing stupas or temples, rebinding sutras, or doing other good deeds, amounting to no more than a strand of hair, a mote of dust, a grain of sand, or a drop of water, merely by transferring the merit from such deeds to the Dharma realm. Those people will create merit and virtue that will enable them to enjoy superior and wonderful bliss for hundreds of thousands of lives. But if they dedicate the merit only to their families or to their own personal benefit, then they will enjoy just 3 lives of happiness. By giving up one, a 10,000-fold reward is obtained. So it is, earth store. The circumstances pertaining to the causes and conditions of giving are thus.
Chapter 11. The Dharma Protection of an Earth Spirit. At that time, the Earth Spirit firm and stable addressed the Buddha thus: Well-honored one, since long ago I have personally beheld and bowed to limitless numbers of Bodhisattva Mahasattvas. All of them have inconceivably great spiritual penetrations and wisdom that they use in taking across vast numbers of beings. Among all the Bodhisattvas, Erstwhile Bodhisattva Mahasattva has the deepest and most great defiles. Well-honored one, Erstwhile Bodhisattva has great affinities with beings in Jambhipa. Likewise, Manjushri Samantabhadra, contemplator of the world sounds, and Maitreya also manifest hundreds of thousands of transformation bodies to rescue those in the 6th path, but their vows will ultimately be fulfilled. Erstwhile Bodhisattva has made vows to teach and transform beings in the 6th path throughout eons. As honor one, as I regard beings of the present and future, I see those who make shrines of clay, stone, bamboo, or wood, and set them on pure ground in the southern part of the dwellings. They place within the shrines images of Erstwhile Bodhisattva, either sculpted or painted or made of gold, silver, copper, or iron. Then they burn incense, make offerings, behold, worship, and praise him. By doing those things, such people will receive 10 kinds of benefits.
What are these 10? First, their lands will be fertile. Second, their families and homes will always be peaceful. Third, their ancestors will be born in the heavens. Fourth, those still alive will increase their lifespan. Fifth, they will obtain what they seek. Sixth, they will not encounter disasters of water and fire. Seventh, they will avoid unforeseen calamities. Eighth, they will never have nightmares. Ninth, they will be protected by spirits in their daily comings and goings. Tenth, they will encounter many causes that lead to sagehood.
Well-honored one, beings of the present and future who make offerings to their homes in the prescribed manner will attain benefits like these. The earth spirit further said to the Buddha, Well-honored one, good men or women in the future may keep this sutra and an image of the Bodhisattva where they live. Moreover, they may recite the sutra and make offerings to the Bodhisattva. I shall constantly use my own spiritual powers day and night to guard and protect those who do that from disasters, including floods, fire, robbery, and theft, major disasters, and minor accidents. The Buddha told the earth spirit firm and stable, There are few spirits who can match your great spiritual power. Why do I say that? All the lands in Jambhipa receive your protection. All the grasses, woods, sands, stones, paddy fields, hemp, bamboo, reeds, grains, rice, and jam come forth from the earth because of your power. Moreover, your constant praising of the beneficial deeds of earth the Bodhisattva makes your meritorious virtue and spiritual penetration hundreds of thousands of times greater than those of other earth spirits.
If good men or women in the future make offerings to this Bodhisattva, or recite the Sutra of the past vows of Earth Store Bodhisattva, and rely upon even a single aspect of it in their cultivation, you should use your own spiritual powers to protect them. Do not allow any disasters or unwelcome events even to be heard, much less undergone by them. Not only will those people be protected by you, but they will also be protected by the retinue of Shakra, Brahma, and other gods. Why will they receive protection from sages and worthies such as these? It will be due to their having beheld and worshipped an image of Earth Store Bodhisattva, and from having recited the sutra of his past vows. Such people will quite naturally be able to leave the sea of suffering and will ultimately be certified to the bliss of nirvana. For those reasons, they will receive great protection.
Chapter 12. Benefits derived from seeing and hearing. At that time, the well-honored one emitted hundreds of millions of billions of great rays of light from the crown of his head. They were the white ray, the great white ray, the auspicious ray, the great auspicious ray, the jade ray, the great jade ray, the purple ray, the great purple ray, the blue ray, the great blue ray, the azure ray, the great azure ray, the red ray, the great red ray, the green ray, the great green ray, the gold ray, the great gold ray, the celebration cloud ray, the great celebration cloud ray, the thousand-wheeled ray, the great thousand-wheeled ray, the jeweled wheel ray, the great jeweled wheel ray, the solar disk ray, the great solar disk ray, the lunar disk ray, the great lunar disk ray, the palace ray, the great palace ray, the ocean cloud ray, the great ocean cloud ray. After emitting such rays of light from the opening at the crown of his head, he spoke in subtle and wonderful sounds to the great assembly of gods, dragons, the rest of the eightfold division, humans and non-humans and others. Hear me today in the palace of 12 streams of heaven, as I praise Earth of Bodhisattva's beneficial and inconceivable deeds among humans and gods, his transcendent deeds that caused him to attain sagehood, his certification to the 10th ground, and his irreversibility from Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi.
After he said that, a Bodhisattva Mahasattva, named contemplator of the world sounds, rose from his seat in the assembly, knelt on one knee, and with palms together, said to the Buddha, World-honored one, Earth Store Bodhisattva Mahasattva is replete with great compassion and pities beings who are suffering for their offenses. In thousands of billions of worlds, he creates thousands of billions of transformation bodies through the strength of his meritorious virtue and inconceivable awesome spiritual power. I have heard the world-honored one and numberless Buddhas of the 10 directions praise Earth Store Bodhisattva in unison, saying that even if all the Buddhas of the past, present, and future were to speak of his meritorious qualities, they could never finish describing them. Earlier, the world-honored one had told the great assembly that he wanted to praise Earth Store Bodhisattva's beneficial deeds and so forth. I now beseech the world-honored one to praise the inconceivable deeds of Earth Store Bodhisattva for the sake of beings of the present and future, and to cause the gods, dragons, and the rest of the eightfold division to gaze and worship and obtain blessings.
The Buddha replied to the contemplator of the world's sounds, Bodhisattva, you have deep affinity with the Saha world. If gods, dragons, men, women, spirits, ghosts, or any other beings who are suffering for offenses within the 6 parts hear your name, see your image, behold you, or praise you, they will definitely become irreversible on the unsurpassed way. They will always be born in the realms of people and gods, and they experience wonderful bliss. When the effects of their causes come to fruition, they will encounter Buddhas who will give them predictions. You are now replete with great compassion and pity for beings, for gods, dragons, and the rest of the Eightfold Division. Listen as I proclaim earth of Bodhisattva's inconceivable beneficial deeds. Listen attentively, I will now talk about them. The contemplator of the world's sun said, "So be it, well-honored one, we will be pleased to listen." The Buddha told the Bodhisattva, contemplator of the world's sounds, in worlds of the present and future, gods whose heavenly blessings are ending may be manifesting the 5 signs of decay, indicating that they may be about to fall into the evil path. When those signs appear, if those gods, whether male or female, see earth or Bodhisattva's image or hear his name and gaze at him or bow but once to him, their heavenly blessings will thereby increase. They will experience great happiness and will never have to undergo retributions in the 3 evil paths. How much more will that be the case for those who, upon seeing and hearing the Bodhisattva, use incense, flowers, clothing, food, drink, jewels, and necklaces as offerings to him? The meritorious virtue, blessings, and benefits they gain will be limitless and unbounded.
Moreover, contemplator of the world sounds, in the worlds of the present and future, when beings in the 6 paths are on the verge of death, if they can hear the name of Earth Store Bodhisattva even once, such beings will never have to endure the sufferings of the 3 evil paths again. How much more will that be the case if the parents and other relatives use the houses, wealth, property, jewels, and clothing of such people who are on the verge of death to commission the carving or painting of images to Earth Store Bodhisattva? If those ailing people have not yet died, their relatives can try to help them see, hear, and understand that their houses, jewels, and so forth have been used for the carving or painting of images of Earth Store Bodhisattva on their behalf. If those people's karmic retributions were such that they were to undergo severe sickness, then with such merit they can quickly be cured and their lifespan prolonged. If those people's retributions were to send them to the evil destinies at death due to their karma and obstacles, then with such merit they can, when their lives end, be born among people or gods, and there enjoy extremely wonderful bliss. All their obstacles due to offenses will be eradicated.
Moreover, contemplator of the world sounds Bodhisattva. In the future, men or women may have lost their fathers, mothers, brothers, or sisters when they were still infants, or as 3-year-olds, 5-year-olds, or youngsters under the age of 10. When they grow up, they may think about their deceased parents and other deceased relatives, not knowing into what paths or worlds or heavens they have been reborn. Suppose they are able to sculpt or paint images of Earth the Bodhisattva, or even to hear his name, gaze upon and worship him once, and that, upon hearing his name and seeing his image, they gaze at him in worship and make offerings for 1 through 7 days without retreating. If their deceased relatives have fallen into bad paths and were destined to remain there for many eons, they would quickly gain release, be born among people gods, and experience supreme bliss. This is because of their receiving the meritorious virtue generated by their sons, their daughters, their brothers or sisters, who sculpted or painted images of Earth or Bodhisattva, and then gaze upon and worship them. If such people's deceased relatives have already been born among people or gods on the strength of their own blessings, and are already experiencing supreme bliss, then upon receiving that additional merit, the causes pertaining to sagehood will increase, and they will experience limitless bliss. If such people are able to behold and worship images of Earth or Bodhisattva, single-mindedly for 3 weeks, reciting his name a full 10,000 times, the Bodhisattva may then manifest a boundless body and describe to them the realms into which their deceased relatives have been born. or in their dreams, the Bodhisattva may manifest great spiritual powers and personally lead them to those worlds to see the deceased relatives.
Moreover, if they can recite the Bodhisattva's name 1,000 times a day every day for 1,000 days, the Bodhisattva will order the ghost and earth spirits in their vicinity to guard and protect them for their entire lives. In this life, their clothing and food will be abundant, and they will have no suffering from sickness or other causes. No accidents will occur in their households, much less affect them personally. Finally, the Bodhisattva will rub the crowns of their heads and bestow predictions upon them. Moreover, contemplator of the world sounds Bodhisattva. In the future, good men or women may want to practice great compassion in rescuing and taking across beings, may wish to cultivate unsurpassed Bodhi, and may long to leave the triple world. And if those people see Earth-Store Bodhisattva's image, hear his name, and sincerely take refuge with him, using incense, flowers, clothing, jewels, food and drink to make offerings, while beholding and worshipping him, such good people's wishes will quickly be realized, and they will never have any further obstructions.
Moreover, contemplator of the world sounds Bodhisattva. In the future, good men or women may want to fulfill millions or billions of vows and to succeed in as many undertakings both in the present and future. They need only take refuge with, gaze upon, worship, make offerings to, and praise the images of Earth or Bodhisattva. In this way, their vows and aspirations can all be realized. Moreover, they may hope that Earth or Bodhisattva, being endowed with great compassion, will always protect them. And in dreams, the Bodhisattva will rub the crowns of their heads and bestow predictions upon them. Moreover, contemplator of the world sounds Bodhisattva. In the future, good men or women may have high regard for the great vehicle sutras and make the inconceivable resolve to read and to recite them from memory. They may then encounter a brilliant master who instructs them so that they may become familiar with the texts. But as soon as they learn them, they forget them. They may try for months or years and yet still be unable to read or recite them from memory, because those good men and good women have karmic objections from past life that have not yet been eradicated. They are unable to read and memorize sutras of the great vehicle. Upon hearing Earth or Bodhisattva's name or seeing his image, such people should bring forth their true mind and, with deep respect and sincerity, state their situation to the Bodhisattva. In addition, they should use incense, flowers, clothing, food and drink, and other beloved items as offering to the Bodhisattva. They should place a bowl of clean water before the Bodhisattva for 1 day and 1 night. Afterwards, placing their palms together, they should state their request and then, while facing south, prepare to drink the water as the water is about to enter their mouth. They should be particularly sincere and solemn. After drinking the water, they should abstain from the 5 pungent plants, wine, meat, improper sexual activity, false speech, and all killing and harming for 1 to 3 weeks. In dreams, those good men and women will then see Earth or Bodhisattva manifest a boundless body and anoints the crowns of their heads with water. When they awaken, they will be endowed with keen intelligence, and upon hearing this sutra once, they will never forget or lose a single sentence or verse.
Moreover, contemplator of the world sounds Bodhisattva. In the future, there may be people whose food and clothing are insufficient, who find their efforts thwarted, who endure much sickness or misfortune, whose families are not peaceful, whose relatives are scattered, who are accident-prone, or who are often startled in their sleep by dreams, upon hearing Earth Store's name and seeing his image. Such people should recite his name a full 10,000 times with extreme sincerity and respect. Those inauspicious circumstances will gradually disappear, and they will find peace and happiness. Their food and clothing will be abundant, and even in their dreams they will be peaceful and happy. Moreover, a contemplator of the world sounds Bodhisattva. In the future, good men or women may have to enter mountain forests, cross rivers, seas, or other large bodies of water, or take dangerous routes either for the sake of earning their own livelihood, or for public or personal affairs, or matters of life and death, or other urgent business. Such people should first recite the name of Earth Store Bodhisattva a full 10,000 times. The ghosts and spirits of the lands they pass through will then guard and protect them, whether they are walking, standing, sitting, or lying down. Those people will be constantly kept safe, so that even if they encounter tigers, wolves, lions, or any other harmful or poisonous creatures, they will not be harmed.
The Buddha told contemplator of the world sounds Bodhisattva. Earth Store Bodhisattva has deep affinities with beings in Java. Hundreds of thousands of eons would not be time enough to describe the benefits derived by beings who see this Bodhisattva and hear his name. Therefore, contemplator of the world sounds Bodhisattva. You should use your spiritual powers to propagate this sutra, thus enabling beings in the Saha world to enjoy peace and happiness always, throughout hundreds of millions of eons. At that time, the world-honored one spoke in verses saying, I observed that Earth Store's awesome spiritual strength could not be described in eons numerous as Ganges sand. Seeing, hearing, beholding, and bowing to him even once benefits people and gods in endless numbers of ways. Men and women, gods and dragons, near the end of their rewards and doomed to fall into the evil path, can sincerely take refuge with this great being, thereby lengthening their lives and eradicating offenses. Youngsters may lose their kind and loving parents and not know what path their spirits are now on. They may have lost brothers, sisters, and other kin whom they never knew while growing up. If they sculpt or paint this great lost image, then with sorrowful longing, gazing at and bow to him unceasingly, and for 21 days recite his name, the Bodhisattva will then display a boundless body and show them the realms where those kings were born. Even if they've fallen into evil destinies, they will find escape. If those praying can sustain their initial resolve, the Bodhisattva may rub their heads and bestow predictions.
Those who wish to cultivate unsurpassed Bodhi and leave behind the suffering of the triple world should give rise to the great compassionate heart. First gaze and bow to this great being's image. Every vow they make will soon be fulfilled, and karmic obstructions will forever be halted. Some people may resolve to read the sutra text, hoping to help those confused to reach the other shore. Although the vows they make are inconceivable, try as they may, they cannot remember what they read. Because of their karmic obstacles and delusions, those people cannot memorize the Mahayana Sutras, but if they offer incense and flowers, clothing, food, and other cherished things to Earth Store, place pure water on the great being's altar, pray for a day and night, then drink it, rigorously abstain from the 5 pungent plants, alcohol, meat, improper sex, and false speech. For 3 weeks refrain from killing or hurting any creature, and with utmost sincerity be mindful of the name of that great Lord. Then in a dream they will see his boundless body. Upon awakening they will have keen hearing.
After that, when they hear the teachings of the sutras, they will never forget them for thousands of lives. How inconceivable is this great law in helping those people gain such wisdom. Beings who are impoverished or plagued with disease, whose homes are troubled, Their relatives scattered, who find no peace even in sleep or dreams, whose efforts are thwarted, so wishes are unfulfilled, may behold and bow to Earth's image with utmost sincerity. All their evil deeds will then be eradicated. Even dreams will become entirely peaceful. Their food and clothing will be plentiful. Spirits and ghosts will protect them. Those who need to pass through mountains, forests, or cross the sea, or go among poisonous or evil birds and beasts, or evil people, among evil spirits, evil ghosts, and even evil winds, or other dangerous and distressing situations, need only gaze in worship and make offerings to an image of the great Lord Earth's Bodhisattva. Thereby, all evil in the mountain forest and on the vast sea will disappear. Contemplator of the world sounds, listen well to what I say. Earth of Bodhisattva is eternal and inconceivable. Hundreds of millions of eons is time to breathe to describe fully the powers of this great law. If people can but hear the name Earth or see his image, or behold and bow to it, offer incense, flowers, clothing, food, and drink, their joy will last for hundreds of thousands or eons. If they can dedicate such marriage to the Dharma realm, they will become Buddhas, ending birth and death. Contemplate all the world sounds, know this well, and tell everyone everywhere in lands as many as Ganges sands. End of chapter 12. Benefit derived from seeing and hearing. We're going to have an intermission of 15 minutes. Let's come back, say 5 minutes after 9. Now we're going to do 3 bows. Bowing respect to the Venerable Master. Okay, we're going to recite the chapter 13, and then we will have a recitation of the Buddha's name and silent recitation as well. Namo fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. The unsurpassed, profound and wonderful Dharma is difficulty encountered in hundreds of millions of eons. I now see and hear it, receive and uphold it, and I vow to fathom the Tathagata's true meaning. Chapter 13. The entrustment of people and gods. At that time, the well-honored one extended his gold-colored arm, and again rubbed the crown of the head of Earth of Bodhisattva Mahasattva, saying, Earth Door, your spiritual powers, compassion, wisdom, and eloquence are inconceivable. Even if all the Buddhas of the 10 directions were to proclaim their praises of your inconceivable deeds, they could not finish in thousands and millions of eons.
Earth Store, remember this entrustment that I am again making here in the Triastrimsha heaven, in this great assembly of ineffable, millions of billions of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, gods, dragons, and the rest of the Eightfold Division. I again entrust to you the gods, people, and others who are still in the burning house and have not yet left the triple world. Do not allow those beings to fall into the evil destinies, even for a single day and night, much less fall into the fivefold relentless hell or the Avicii hell, where they would have to pass through thousands of billions of eons with no chance of escape. Earth Store, the beings of southern Jambudvipaka have irresolute wills and natures, and those who learn evil ways are many. Even if they resolve to do good, they soon renounce that resolve. If they encounter evil conditions, they become increasingly involved in them with every thought. For those reasons, I reduplicate hundreds of billions of bodies to transform beings, take them across, and liberate them all in accord with their own basic dispositions.
Earth Door, I now earnestly entrust the multitudes of gods and people to you. If in the future there are gods and good men and women who plan to feel good roots in the Buddha Dharma, be they as little as a strand of hair, motes of dust, a grain of sand, or a drop of water, then you should use your powers in a way to protect them, so that they gradually cultivate an unsurpassed way and do not retreat from it. Moreover, Earth Door, in the future, gods or people, according to the response of their karmic retributions, may be due to fall into the evil destinies while they are on the brink of falling or already at the very gates to those paths. If they can recite the name of one Buddha or Bodhisattva, or a single sentence or verse of Great Vehicle Sutra, then you should use all spiritual powers to rescue them with Expedient means display boundless body in the places where they are, smash the health and lead them to be born in the heavens and to experience supreme bliss. At that time, the well-honored one once spoke in verse saying,
I am entrusting your care the multitudes of gods and people both now and in the future. Use your great spiritual powers and expedients to save them. Do not allow them to fall into the evil destinies. At that time, Earth Store Bodhisattva Mahasattva knelt on one knee, placed his palms together, and said to the Buddha, I beg the world-honored one not to be concerned. In the future, if good men and women have a single thought of respect toward the Buddha Dharma, I shall use hundreds of thousands of expedients to take them across and free them. They will quickly be liberated from birth and death. How much more will that be the case for those who, having heard about all these good undertakings, are inspired to cultivate? Those people will naturally become irreversible from the unsurpassed way.
After he finished speaking, a bodhisattva named Empty Space Treasury, who was in the assembly, spoke to the Buddha. Well-honored one, I personally have come to the 12th stream Sha heaven and have heard the thus come one praise of the Bodhisattva's inconceivable, awesome spiritual power. If in the future good men and good women, gods and dragons hear this sutra and the name of Earthstar Bodhisattva, and if they behold and bow to his image, how many kinds of blessings and benefits will they obtain? Please, well-honored one, say a few words about this for the sake of beings of the present and future. The Buddha told Empty Space Treasury Bodhisattva, listen attentively. I shall enumerate them and describe them to you. In the future, good men or women see Earthstar Bodhisattva's image, hear this sutra read or recited, and even use incense, flowers, food and drink, clothing, or precious things as offerings. Praise, behold, and bow to him. Such beings will benefit in 28 ways. First, they will be protected by gods and dragons. Second, their good works will increase daily. Third, they will amass supreme causes pertaining to sagehood. Fourth, they will not retreat from bodhi. Fifth, their clothing and food will be abundant. Sixth, they will never be affected by epidemics. Seventh, they will not encounter disaster of fire and water.
8, they will never be threatened by thieves. 9th, they will be respected by all who see them. 10th, they will be aided by ghosts and spirits. 11th, women who want to can be reborn as men. 12th, if born as women, they will be the daughters of national leaders and officials. 13th, they will have upright and handsome features. 14th, they will often be born in the heavens. 15th, they may be emperors or leaders of nations. 16th, they will have the wisdom to know past lives. 17th, they will attain whatever they seek. 18th, their families will be happy. 19th, they will never undergo any disasters. 20th, they will leave the bad karmic paths forever. 21st, they will always arrive at their destination. 22nd, their dreams will be peaceful and happy. 23rd, their deceased relatives will leave suffering behind. 24th, they will enjoy blessings earned in previous lives. 25th, they will be praised by sages. 26th, they will be intelligent and have keen faculties. 27th, they will be magnanimous, kind, and empathic. 28th, they will ultimately realize Buddhahood.
Moreover, Empty Space Treasury Bodhisattva, if gods, dragons, or spirits of the present or future hear Earthstar's name, bow to Earthstar's image, or hear of Earthstar's past vows, deeds, and practices, and then praise him, behold, and bow to him, they will benefit in 7 ways. First, they will quickly transcend to levels of sagehood. Second, their evil karma will be eradicated. Third, all Buddhas will protect and be near them. Fourth, they will not retreat from bodhi. Fifth, their inherent powers will increase. Sixth, they will know past life. Seventh, they will ultimately realize Buddhahood. At that time, all the ineffable numbers of Buddhas, Thus come ones who had come from the 10 directions, the great bodhisattvas, gods, dragons, and the rest of the Eightfold Division, having heard Shakyamuni Buddha's praise or else the bodhisattva's awesome and inconceivable spiritual powers, praised this unprecedented event, following the incense flowers, heavenly garments, and pearl necklaces rained down in the 12 rooms of heaven as offerings to Shakyamuni Buddha and Erstwhile Bodhisattva. After that, all the assembled beings gazed upwards, bowed, placed their palms together, and withdrew. End of part 3 of Sutra of the past 12 of Erstwhile Bodhisattva. Lipa lipa di choha di thola di liha la di bili di maha jandi jandi sabaha. Lipa lipa di choha di thola di liha la di bili di maha jandi jandi sabaha. Lipa lipa di choha di thola di liha la di bili di maha jandi Chanti Sabaha. Namo Amida Yeda Tachita Yeda Di Yeda Amilita Papi Amilita Siddhan Papi Amilita Pijalan Amilita Pijalan Chemili Chichela Jita Jali Sabaha. Namo Amida Yeda Tachita Yeda Di Yeda Amilita Papi Amilita Siddhan Papi Amilita Pijalan Di Amilita Pijalan Chemili Chichela Jali Sabaha. Namo Amida Yeda Tachita Yeda Di Yeda Amilita Papi Amilita Siddhan Amilita Pijalan Di Amilita Pijalan Chemili Chichela Jali Sabaha. Namo Halai Danai Dalai Ye Chela Chela Juju Molai Hula Hong Ha Sutana Hong Pamola Sapa. Namo Hanai Danai Dalai Ye Chela Juju Molai Hula Hong Ha Pamola Sapa. Namo Hanai Danai Dalai Ye Chela Juju Molai Hula Hong Ha Sutana Hong Pamola Sapa. Erstwhile basic vows and comparative causes of virtue are told. We learn that crippling illness, physical defects come from past life deeds. In this life, those who recite great vehicle sutras bring benefits without end, aiding all to be reborn from jeweled lotuses. Homage to Erstwhile Bodhisattva Mahasattva. Homage to Erstwhile Bodhisattva Mahasattva. Homage to Erstwhile Bodhisattva Mahasattva. Erstwhile Bodhisattva praise. Erstwhile Bodhisattva, wonderful beyond compare, God healed in his transformation body he appears, wondrous Dharma sounds throughout the 3 passes 6 realms, for births and 10 kinds of beings gain his kindly grace. His pearl shining brightly lights the way to heaven's halls. 6 ringed golden star shakes open wide the gates of hell. Leads on those with causes, garner life and life again. To bow at the 9th flower terrace of Namo Restore grace, vows, and compassion, Bodhisattva of the dark and dismal worlds, on Nine Flower Mountain, most honored one, with 10 wheels of power, you rescue all the suffering ones. Namo Asta Bodhisattva. 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 Mo Asto Bodhisattva. Namo 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 Asto Bodhisattva. Mô A Sa Bodhisattva Hai Nam. 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 Mô A Sa Bodhisattva. Nam Mô A Sa Bodhisattva Hai Nam. 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 Mô as the Bodhisattva. Nam as the Bodhisattva. Nam as the Bodhisattva. Nam as the Bodhisattva. As the Bodhisattva, 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 as the Bodhisattva. As the Bodhisattva, 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 as the Bodhisattva. As the Bodhisattva, 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 as the Bodhisattva. As the Bodhisattva, 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 as the as the Bodhisattva, 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 as the Bodhisattva. As the Bodhisattva, 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 as the Bodhisattva. As the Bodhisattva, 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 as the Bodhisattva. As the Bodhisattva, 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 as the Bodhisattva. as the Bodhisattva, 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 as the Bodhisattva. we could do the dedication of merit. May the merit from this practice follow all the Buddha's left, repay the kindness from above and rescue those in paths below. May all who see or hear others resolve upon awakening, and when this body misses and be born together in the land of bliss. 3 bows. Bow in respect to the Venerable Master. No.